Open forum. I'm here to help you guys with whatever questions you have or deals that you're working. So this is 100% driven by you guys. Who's got a question that they need help with? Leticia, what's up?
Hey, so I have one. It's going to be a hybrid. She's been waiting for a response to see if we can help her out. But
Okay.
are we ready?
Yeah. Do you have how much they were originally selling it? Like what the deal sniper numbers are? The purchase price?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. 1 second. Let me pull it up. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay. And
You got people asking you questions in the main chat.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay, so Dill Sniper has a purchase price of $242.
Okay. And what is the mortgage balance?
Mortgage balance is $188.
Okay. And what is their monthly payment?
I just put 1,800.
Okay. And the interest rate?
8.25.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what are we giving them as a down payment?
Let's see. Down payment is 16,000.
Nope, wrong one. 16,000. Okay. And then for the seller finance amount would be what, like 38 grand? No.
Yeah, 226.
226.
Did I say seller finance amount 226, purchase price?
Oh, no, that you're still doing the deal sniper numbers. No, that's okay. I just need the purchase price from deal sniper. What is the monthly payment from deal sniper, the rent?
600.
No, I'm sorry, the estimated rent.
Estimated rent 1,600.
Okay. So does that look right?
Yes. Seller finance amount. What did we get? 38 again?
Yeah. Because essentially, if I were to add all of these together, I should get the purchase price of 242. Hold on, let me check.
Oh, okay. That's how you do that.
So 242 minus 188 minus 16,000 leaves 38,000. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Just wondering how to do this. Thank you. And then yeah, that looks good.
Okay. So can you, now I know you're new, so this is not a trick question. Can you tell what's wrong with this deal just before I even click on this tab?
Well, the interest rate's way too high, and then the mortgage balance is way too high for the compared to the asking, right?
You're kind of on the right track, so I'm going to help you out. So the mortgage balance is fine, the purchase price is fine, but essentially, because we have to put ourselves in the buyer's position, because we have to get deals under contract that we can move. That's how we get paid. So even before going to the analysis tab here, I know that the deal is not going to work because it's going to cost our investor $1,800 a month to pay for this property, and it's only going to bring in $1,600 a month. So I already know that if I go to the hybrid tab, I'm at a negative cash on cash return. Hold on, let me put these numbers. 1,800, 8.25, and it's just giving them nothing. So we're at negative 12% cash on cash return. And that's not paying the seller for their equity every single month, which in this case would probably be like $200. maybe 250. So now we're in negative almost 18%. So this deal doesn't really work.
Okay. All right. That's what I thought. I just was hoping, I guess.
No, that's okay.
Thank
That's all
you.
right. Every one that you do that's doesn't work, it just gets you closer to one that does. And by the time you get there, you won't even need. You'll just know, oh shit, this one works, and then you can get excited.
All right. Thanks, Sean.
No problem. All right. Who else has got a question? That's it.
Hey Sean, what's a HELOC?
A
HELOC
HELOC.
loan?
That's a home equity line of credit. That's what HELOC stands for. So that means, so we'll use here. Actually, I can use this deal for an example. So let's say someone owns their house completely free and clear, right?
Yeah.
And they're not selling it. All they do is they go to the bank and they say, "Hey, look, I have $235,000 worth of equity in my house. I want a loan against that." And that's what's called a HELOC. It's a home equity line of credit. So you take a loan against the equity that your house has, and it's usually a lower amount, 35,000. I mean, it depends on the person, obviously, but it's usually cheaper than if you were going to do like a cash out refi. So a HELOC is different in the sense where the interest rate is going to be higher. It's a lot like having a credit card that you're pulling out money from. So instead of having a credit card with an unsecured balance of $10,000, $100,000, whatever, you're using your home's equity as your line of credit, and then they give you the money that you want to borrow against that. So now you owe them that plus a little bit of interest. That's what a HELOC is.
Can you help me underwrite a deal? Like, because he just like while you was talking, that's why I said, "Oh my God!" He just sent me like, I guess like the mortgage payments and all that, and it's like a one pager, just filled with a bunch of numbers. So like, can you help?
Yeah, obviously. What's up? Let's you want to DM it?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it over. Good Lord, I never thought.
Unfortunately, this isn't going to be riveting television for everybody else because I'm not going to show this part on screen. But I will show the numbers and I'll explain what I'm seeing.
I can tell you what like what I know on the.
This is a mortgage statement.
I can tell you what I understand from this.
Okay, go ahead. What do you see?
Okay.
No, you know what? Don't tell me what you see. Tell me this. What's the monthly mortgage payment?
1,122.
There you go. What's the interest rate for this deal? Their current interest rate.
3.6.
There you go. What's their balance?
168.
Yep. And how much are they behind?
I have no clue.
It's right there. I ain't gonna help you no more than that. It's right there.
Underpaid expenses.
Think about what I'm saying. How much money are they behind?
168.
Nope.
Hey.
Nope. That's their balance. This is telling me that they're behind in their mortgage, and it's very clearly telling me how much.
Am I blind? I don't see it.
Yeah, a little bit. It's at the top.
Amount due? Is that?
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Amount due.
So I was looking at it. I thought that was true.
So this is just a mortgage statement, dude, and the amount due. I mean, I can look at the rest of it and see the legal fees and late payments and things like that. But just the simple fact, you identified everything else perfectly, and 99% of the time, unless you're talking to a pre-foreclosure or foreclosure situation, the amount due will just be the regular monthly payment.
Okay. So they're behind. So that low key, like, they would probably go with Subto on this, right? Because
that depends. What were they selling the house for originally?
This is off market.
Oh, so how much did they ask you for?
They're asking for 300,000.
Oh yeah, no, this is not a Subto. This is a hybrid. But it does put you in a little bit more of an advantageous situation because they are behind $8,000, and obviously they don't have it because if they had it, they wouldn't be behind. And that's probably why they're selling. Is the house owner occupied or is it vacant?
It's owner occupied.
Okay. And did they say that they would be open to a creative offer? if we gave them that their asking price?
Well, this kind of just happened. So I'm pretty sure because he wouldn't recommend me. Yeah.
All
No,
right, let's do it.
yeah.
Let's do it. So let's do, okay, so now for everyone that can follow along, I'm going to put the deal in. And for those of you that don't know, if you ever need to send me a document and say, hey, Sean, what the hell is this? You can do that. My only request is that you need to look at it first. I'm not going to just tell you where everything is at. I want you to go through the actual document, familiarize yourself with these things because you're going to see them a lot. And what if I want to take a vacation one day? I don't, but what if I do? You know what I mean? So
They
let's
just
put the
add a
deal
whole
in.
bunch of extra numbers.
That's okay. That's all good. Wait, did they send you another statement?
No, I'm just talking about like on the like what I'm looking at. Like it looks difficult, but like it says it. You're
Yeah.
right.
If you look exactly, that's why I told you, instead of you telling me what you think you see, I asked you if you knew where the important information was. And those 4 pieces of information that you identified where they are, or I guess 3, that's all you really need to know. Are they behind? No? Okay, cool. Then what's the current payment? What's their interest rate? What's their balance? That's it.
So they're behind like 8 months. The house about to get
No, it looks like they're behind like 5 months. And then they have fees and penalties that get tacked on. That's why it's 79. Let's see. So they're asking 300, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So let's do, I don't want to do that. Let's give them an incentive. We'll do $320,000 purchase price. We'll do 168. I'm just going to round it. I know I saw the other thing, but that's okay. 1122 is what I think it was. It was a 3 point something, right? 3.6,
Yeah,
3.2, 3.625.
yeah,
Okay. I knew there was a 2 in there.
that's crazy.
We'll do $20,000 down, and then this will be 132,000. Yeah, I think that's right.
You can't find interest rates like that no more, huh?
What do you mean? Oh, not you mean like currently? No. No. That is not a, this is a really good interest rate. Depending on what the place rents for, that'll be good
Yeah,
as
that's
well. What does it rent for? As long as this number,
2,350. God.
oh, that's
Oh,
actually
good.
that's actually pretty good, dude. If you can get this deal locked up,
I did not expect it.
this will be pretty decent. Okay, so what was it? 1122, 3.625. No HOA or anything, right?
No.
You don't have a ton of room. Actually, yeah, a little bit. I don't like 400, but you can go to 400. I'd be more comfortable if you said 3. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to tell them, oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I have a realtor. Why is there a realtor commission? I must need a new copy. It's not a big deal. Okay. So, whoa, you got actually a little bit more room. 500. I still don't like it.
Yeah, me neither.
I am more comfortable with that though.
And I don't know. They might if they're behind about 5 months on payments.
Well, here's what here's what you're telling them. Here's what you're telling them. And if for anyone else that's in a situation where someone has back taxes, liens, or back payments, arrears for their mortgage, pay attention to this part because this is very important, or you're gonna lose your assignment fee on the deal. So, what exactly are we doing for the seller? Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to catch them up on their arrears. So now it's not going to hit their credit. They don't have to worry about that payment. That $8,000 we're going to pay for them. That $8,000, however, and this is the important part, comes out of the it comes out of their down payment. So even though you're putting 20 here, when you explain it to them, that's going to get covered, and you're going to get the difference. So you're only going to walk away with about $12,000, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, or realtor, whoever you're dealing with. You said soft market, so seller. So they're only going to walk away with $12,000, but that $8,000 in arrears that they owe, that gets wiped out, that gets paid, and the mortgage gets brought current. The other thing that we're doing is we are taking away that $1,100 payment. They don't have to pay that anymore. So that's like they're receiving $1,100 a month. or at the very least, they're not having $1,100 a month hit their bank account anymore because they don't have to pay it. We're paying it, or the investor. And then on top of that, we'll give them $400 a month. That's just theirs. And then for those of you that have been having confusion or maybe don't know, when a real estate agent or a seller says, hey, does this payment that you're giving include taxes and insurance? The buyer or our investor will always, in any situation, sub-2, hybrid, seller finance, doesn't matter. The buyer or the investor will pay the taxes and the insurance every month. So that money, that monthly payment that Deal Sniper generates is the money they just get to keep. None of that goes towards the house. That's just theirs. Positive cash flow. And if you notice, I actually built in an extra $20,000 into the purchase price. So they were asking me for 300. You're going to give them 320. So I would tell them, hey, look, you were asking for 300. I see you're behind in your mortgage. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a $320,000 purchase price. I'll give you that extra $20,000 cash in your pocket at closing. Out of that $20,000, it's going to catch up your arrears. So you're going to walk away with about 12 grand. We will cover that mortgage payment every single month. So you won't have to worry about paying that anymore. And on top of that, we're going to give you $400 in positive cash flow every single month. You don't have to worry about the taxes. You don't have to worry about the insurance. You don't have to worry about maintenance. You don't have to worry about anything. We're taking care of everything. Can you make that work? That's something along the lines of what I would say to the seller.
You sold me.
Because it fixes. Here's the one. Well, not the one. They may not like the deal, but assuming they're okay with creative financing, I'm assuming they are. If you have the mortgage statement, you must have asked for it. So
yeah, the realtor sent it to me, but we're not covering the realtor thing. Well, he didn't ask.
you should still kick them $1,000. Anyway, that's up to you. It's your deal. But if they're open to creative, then this is their best shot. The only pushback that you'll get is $12,000 isn't enough money for us to move, which is why I did ask you in the beginning, is it owner occupied or is it vacant? That's going to be your biggest hurdle. If they're trying to buy another property, what I just said is not going to work. Yeah. Because $12,000 isn't enough to put a down payment on another property. If they're planning on just renting, like, hey, we tried, this is, we couldn't hang, so now we're just going to rent, then you're good to go. This deal should absolutely work. So I'd go for it.
Oh.
Do you need me to repeat any of that?
You're going to post this, so I'm just going to take what you said word for word.
Okay. It's always better to do a version of you than to try to do it for me. I'm just saying. It's like people, they always ask for scripts. I can write one, but you guys are going to do a bad job trying to sound like a shitty version of me. Just sound like a good version of you. Nobody knows what this is supposed to sound like. If you say something that doesn't sound exactly the way that I said it, the person you're talking to doesn't know. They don't know what you're trying to say. As long as you get your point across in a professional, elegant, and polished way, you're good. It doesn't have to sound like me. All right, who else has got a... Well, wait. Darren, any more questions?
Why couldn't you do sub 2?
Because they're trying to capture that $132,000 worth of equity. And on a sub 2, remember, the most we can give them on a down payment is 10% of the purchase price. Well, the purchase price on a sub 2 is the mortgage balance. So $168,000, the most we'd be able to give them is $16,000. Well, based off what they're asking for the property, they want $132,000. They want all their equity, which is fine. Okay. You can give it to them. They have to take it over time.
Now, what would be the balloon like? Five
for 132, probably I would be more comfortable with a 7 to 10, but you can get away with 5 to 7. Okay. 7 to 10 would be better though, on the disposition side. Now, if your sellers are elderly, then maybe that'll be a little too long and you should stick to the 5 to 7. So it really just depends. But for the deal and its attractiveness to an investor, yeah, 7 to 10 would be better.
Okay. Wait, can you go to the next page so I can take a picture of that seller finance page?
Oh, sure. No, you want it's a hybrid, right?
Oh, hybrid, yeah, hybrid.
There you go.
Yeah, appreciate it. Wait, you put it. Oh, never mind. That's a good entry fee.
Yeah, you're at 11% total. That's including closing costs. That's really good.
Let's say he did want me to pay realtor commission. What is it, like 3%?
That's 9 grand. That's actually more. It's 9,600 because I changed the purchase price to 320. So if we did 9,600, that's going to jack your numbers up. Oh, that's right. I have to fix my formula. You're still at 14%, but look at your cash on cash return now.
Oh.
That's not, I mean, it's still good. It still works. It's still going to bring in $5,700 a year, but it's not as good as it was before. So if this is off market, like I said, I mean, if you really want to, you can kick them 2,500.
Oh yeah, you don't gotta cover the whole
Hmm?
thing. I say, yeah, you don't gotta cover the whole thing.
Yeah, you could kick him 2,500, or even like you could pay him out the deal. Like you can have him, you can sign something with him to represent you as the buyer or whatever, however he wants to do it, because you don't want to jeopardize. Real estate agents cannot accept kickbacks, or it can mess with their license. So you have to be very careful about what you're trying to do. Even if you're trying to be like me, the way I found out the hard way, I had a realtor that I was working with my first couple of transactions when I first started wholesaling years ago. And I was so happy that everything worked out the way that we thought that it was going to. I handed her an envelope with $2,500 in it. I'm old school. We do cash. Here's an envelope.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "What's this for?" And I said, "Oh, it's a thank you for the deals that you sent me." And she's like, "Oh my God, no, I can't take that." She damn near thought I was setting her up. She's like, "Is this a setup?" I'm like, "Oh God, no. I was just trying to say thank you." Like it was harmless. But I did not know that they weren't allowed to do that. So when you're talking to a real estate agent, it's best to just, if they want you to sign something, if they're like, "Yeah, I mean, I'll take a payment, I'll take a, whatever, but you got to sign this, you got to sign that." Yeah, just do it. That's fine. Some realtors don't care. I'm going to be very honest with you. Some realtors like, "Yeah, you want to Venmo me $2,500? That's fine." Then yeah, do it. But don't presume that, because technically they're not supposed to do it. So just ask them, say, "Hey, look, you helped me get this deal. Looks like we're going to get it sold. I'm obviously going to make some money off of it. I want to take care of you. How do you feel comfortable doing that?" And just have that conversation once the deal looks like it's going under contract.
Okay.
And then they'll tell you how they want to do it. More than likely, if it's a real estate agent that's super legit, they'll be like, "Oh, well, you need to sign this saying that I represented you on the deal." Okay, yeah, just sign it. It's all good.
I keep getting cause like I keep getting people saying like, "Oh, how do I put this? I can't. All brokerage won't let me go into contract yet before like the earnest money and all that." So is it possible to like? I know it's possible, but like it's possible for y'all to market the property and like find a buyer and that's willing to move forward on those terms. Just submit EMD before like I'm under contract with that realtor. That makes sense.
No, my team doesn't do that at all.
Okay.
And the reason being is I'm paying a scenario for you, and it's a lot. It's when you go back to what I say on some of my other videos when I'm making jokes about the only thing you have to worry about is other people. The same thing. It's just like, look at any apocalypse movie. What's the real threat of the movie? It's the rest of the survivors. It's not the monsters or the zombies. It's other people screwing you over. That's what you have to worry about. So I'm going to paint you a scenario. You don't have this deal under contract. You make your marketing material. You do your research. You run the deal. You market it everywhere. You find a buyer. Buyer says, "Yeah, the numbers look good. I want to see the property." He goes to see the property. He finds out how much it's listed for. He starts talking to the real estate agent. You're virtually wholesaling, so you're not there. And then he finds out that he can get it for 10, 15 or whatever, $1,000 cheaper than what you told him he was going to be getting it for. Why would he go to you? He'll just work directly with the realtor, and that will happen. That's why you have to get it under contract. That protects your interest in the deal. Otherwise, you have no leverage. There's no one you can run and tattle to and say, hey, but you said. They don't care. Nobody cares. Real estate agent got the house sold. Buyer got the property $10,000 cheaper than what you told him he was going to get it for. As far as they're concerned, it's a win-win.
Yeah. In that situation, I told them exactly that, but they was like, yeah, my brokerage. So that's another person telling me that too. That they were willing to move forward on my terms. They just need that EMD.
Well, what you can do is, let's see, I'm trying to think of it. I mean, it depends on the real estate agent and then also your definition of ethical. But there is someone else that had a situation very similar to this. And the real estate agent just said, okay, well, fine, just sign a JV agreement with me and we'll close the deal outside the brokerage. Now, I don't know how that works. Again, I'm not a real estate agent. I don't know if that's like a super big no-no or if that's just like a damn, that was like shady, but yeah, it's legal. I have no idea. But I would just let the real estate agent know, say, hey, look, I'm just trying to get the house sold and get everybody paid. So if you think of a way that we can make this work, please let me know. My offer is good for 30 days. And then let the real estate agent suggest to you a solution. That's all. I would word it exactly like that. A lot of times what you want to do, if you want people to tell you what you want to know, you have to give them the opportunity to do that. People will always show you who they are.
Yeah. Yeah, because listen, he had somebody else join the call and be like, and vouch for him and be like, there's no way y'all going through all of this just to go around me. They had me on the phone for a little minute. We started talking about Zaxby's, but I don't know. I feel like I trust him, but that's.
I mean, you can. I don't trust anyone, so you got to consider
Yeah.
the source of the information that you're getting. Me personally, there's a reason why you guys don't know my real name or what I look like. I don't know, y'all. Does that answer your question? I mean,
Yeah.
you can try it, but my team's not going to do it. Like my dispo team's not going to try and move a deal that's not under contract. It's just a waste of time, and there's too many things that can go wrong. All right, who else has got a question? Oh, like Leo. Leo's on my team. Leo, you've been on my team for what? Almost a year? You don't know he doesn't know my real name, never seen my face, doesn't know where I live, nothing. There's a reason for that. I don't trust nobody.
Well, I understand he don't know where you live, but he don't know your real name.
No, nobody
after a
does.
year.
You know how long I've been working with Calvin for 4 or 5 years now. Calvin doesn't know my real name or what I look like.
Are you on the run?
No.
Like, I don't. It don't matter.
AI, deep fakes, all that stuff. Nah, man. I don't even like that you guys have my voice, but I couldn't keep answering the same questions over and over again via text. So I'm like, whatever, I'll just make a video.
That makes
And
sense.
most of it's just a joke. I'm just having fun.
Yeah. What's a novation? I keep hearing about that.
A novation deal is when the seller of the property gives you power of attorney to list the property on the MLS with a real estate agent. So just to be clear, you cannot, a novation deal is not eligible for a property that is on market, unless it's a for sale by owner. And even then it's tough. But a novation deal basically allows us to give the seller more money than a cash offer. So let's say someone, and again, off market, but let's say you're talking to someone and they want to sell, they're okay with you working with a wholesaler, they don't want to do creative, and your cash offer just isn't enough. In this scenario, the property also needs to be in like C+ condition, meaning dated, not broken. So what you're basically doing is signing a piece of paper saying, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my real estate agent. I'm going to list the property on the MLS for you, open it up to all the buyers, not just investors, but all of them. And then I will pay for all the closing costs. On top of that, if the inspector or the appraiser find anything wrong with the property that needs to be fixed in order to close, I'll pay for that too. You get your asking price, I get the difference, but I'll pay for everything. And I'll take care of everything. You don't have to do shit. That's a novation deal. And all of that I said is absolutely true. You are putting yourself on the hook for paying the closing costs, paying the realtor commissions, and if the place needs a new roof, you're paying for that too before closing. Now, obviously, there's ways to do that with zero money out of your pocket, and it's very simple. You build in a $30,000 assignment fee into every Novation deal. That's why you want to look for a property that is dated and not broken. If it's broken, then everything that needs to be paid for to fix that property in order for it to sell is going to get pulled out of that $30,000 assignment fee. That's why it's so big. Unless you're a roofer and you can tell if a roof is terrible just by a photo. I mean, obviously there's some roofs that are obvious, but if the roof just looks normal, you won't know until an appraiser or an inspector goes on the roof and says, oh yeah, the roof is good, or oh no, the roof is shot. Now you need a new roof. That's $12,000. Well, you call a roofing company and say, hey, we got a property. It's going to escrow right now. Just found out from the inspector it needs a roof. Will you do the roof and then get paid at a closing? 90% of roofers or any contractors will do that if the deal is already in escrow. Okay. And what will happen is out of that $30,000, whatever the roof costs, they're going to cut a check to the roofer and pay them at closing. And then you get the difference. But in a sense, that's what a novation deal is.
Sounds like a lot.
It's really not that much, because if you think about it, you're not doing any of the dispo. The realtor is. What's a lot is making sure that you're very precise and get accurate information when you're doing your discovery call and finding out the condition of the property. If you find the good condition of a property and you're convinced that it's, the roof is good, the plumbing's good, the electrical's good, the foundation's good, it just needs either updating or touch-ups, but it's 100% livable, yeah, that's a good start for a novation deal. Then next is just negotiating the price. But once you have it under contract as a novation, the real estate agent does everything after that. That's why you guys want to make sure you're getting in good with real estate agents, being honest, being professional, building a network of agents that actually like you, because then you'll get to the point where you do get an off-market deal in one of their areas and you're like, hey, you know what? You've been working well with me. I really, really appreciate it. I just got lucky. I typically don't do off-market, but I got one in your area and I want to list it and I want to give you the listing. That realtor is now your best friend. You think they're going to send you more off-market properties? Of course they will.
So, like, when you get off-market, do you usually just do novation?
No.
Like, you don't have to do.
It depends. I don't prejudge what my lead's exit strategy is going to be. If it's, I take every lead that I get, it's its own blank canvas. To be perfectly honest with you, and don't do this. Don't do what I'm about to say. I'm a different breed. But I don't even look at the notes. Like if it's a VA lead or a PPC, I don't look at it. I don't look at the notes. I don't look at anything. I look at the phone number. I look at the name. I call them and I let the seller tell me what's going on. I need to hear it from them. Okay. And then based off what they tell me, then I start thinking, okay, here's some possible exit strategies. I'm also listening for things that'll disqualify certain exit strategies so I don't waste time. Like if I hear someone's going through a divorce and that's why they're selling, I know not to pitch creative. Creative is not going to work for a divorce situation 99% of the time. So I'm not even going to waste the time bringing it up. Mm-hmm. That's why my channel is called Conversation to Close, because if you have good conversations with people, you'll get all the information you need in order to close the deal. So yeah, I don't cookie cut. When I talk to someone, whatever exit strategy will serve them best, that's the one that I go for. That's why I like to know all of them, because I have them all at my disposal.
Where do you get your VAs from?
No accent callers.
Well, isn't like $1,000 a month?
I have no idea. I'm an affiliate not an affiliate. That sounds weird. I'm in a partnership with them. So when they get people who sign up for their lead services who may be new to wholesaling, then there's offered an opportunity to partner with me and my team. You see what I'm saying? So I don't pay for the leads. The clients do, and then I help them close their leads, or someone on my team will.
That's crazy. So you had a point where people just bring you leads and just, that's cool.
Yeah, we don't get to keep all of we don't get a huge cut of the deal.
Yeah, but
but
you get
a lot of volume.
Yeah, it kind of makes up for it.
It does. It absolutely does.
I
But
don't.
does that answer your question about novations?
Yeah,
Okay. So what were you saying?
I was like, I don't want to do wholesaling for long. I'm mainly just doing this to get money because I wanna do Section 8 and all that. That's what I
That's the
want.
point. That's absolutely the point. I tell people that all the time, whether it's being on my team or just starting off with Deal Sniper. The point is it's a low ticket item. It doesn't cost a lot like some of the other methods of wholesaling, like hiring a VA or getting PPC or PPL leads. This is a way to get in, get the knowledge that you need, get all the exit strategies, get taught by me or anyone else in the Discord that knows what they're talking about. You close a couple of deals, then you use that money to scale up to the next step, which would be VA leads and off market. And then you use the commission from that to scale up to PPCs, PPLs. Then once you have whatever your gold bank account number is, then we can actually show you, okay, start looking for these properties in these areas. If you're targeting Section 8, go here, here, and here. Stay away from here. We literally walk you through everything so that you can, at some point, either have your own portfolio of whatever, fix and flip, buy and hold, whatever you like, or you're using the money to start your own team of wholesalers, or you're using the money to go do whatever your passions actually are. It has nothing to do with real estate. We don't care. As long as you get there and we want to help, that's all we care about.
Yeah, I heard like because I heard you need like at least 2 years of like credit line or credit history in order to even like apply and get like a Section 8. And I definitely don't have that. I just
There's a lot of ways to get Section 8 properties without going that direction, and much faster ways. I mean, nobody cares about your credit if you buy the house cash. You know what I mean?
oh, okay.
So there's ways around all that. But here's the thing, and I'm not trying to say anything about Section 8. Section 8 is great for its own reasons, but it doesn't have to be Section 8 in order for you to cash flow and to be profitable.
Yeah.
So even if Section 8 was mandatory to jump all through those proverbial hoops, you don't have to. You can always just get, like me, I don't have Section 8s. And I'll tell you why I don't have Section 8s. I don't have Section 8s for a lot of reasons, for the same reason that a lot of other investors don't do Section 8. Section 8s are usually in really, really rough areas. And I care a lot about people around me. Like, I may not trust nobody, but I care about everyone. Like, I'll give you guys the shirt off my back if you needed it. So I don't want to own a property that is in a not so awesome area because there's nothing I can do to fix it. Nothing I can do to make it better for the tenants that live there. And since I can't fix it, it's out of sight, out of mind. And yep, that's the coward's way of doing it, but that's the way I do it. So I don't care.
Yeah, I want to get to that point because I don't want to be making calls all day. I just want to wake up and I got money in my account.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Calvin and I talk about a lot. And Calvin was the one who articulated it best. He said, you don't want to do $10 an hour. You don't want to make $10 an hour decisions. You want to make $100 an hour decisions. So what that means is you don't want to do something where someone else can do it and it's only $10 an hour. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do getting the leads. That's lower level. That not low level, like there's anything wrong with them, but I mean, it's not what you're trying to accomplish. You just said you want to wake up to money. Yeah. So in this situation, what you want to do is you want to have pay someone else the $10 an hour type of job so that you can make the $100 an hour decisions, which is closing the deals.
Yeah. But I really don't know how soon I can get into that. Like, well, it depends how much money I make off of wholesaling. What would you think is like a good enough money to save up for you to comfortably just buy a rental or just like a,
that hold on a second, because that's a longer conversation. Christian, Court, do you guys have any questions? I'm just going to take the silence as a no. Leo, you don't even have your mic isn't even on. Yeah, Leo's right. About 10K. I was gonna say it depends on your situation and what you're trying to accomplish. But if you find
Ten
yourself
thousand
$10,000, yeah.
for like a house, and then well, damn. I
Well,
thought you
think
need at
about
least
it.
like 50 or something.
No, it depends on where you're looking for and what kind of deals you're looking for. So
Okay, yeah, you're
let me give you an example. Let's say you have 10 grand, right?
right.
And you yourself are a wholesaler, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you call a lead that is open to creative financing and you run the numbers using the calculator or whatever, and you're like, damn, cash on cash return is like 25%. This thing brings in $12,000 a year. Sounds like a good deal. Oh, damn, the entry fee is not including my assignment fee is only like $9,000. Okay, well, there you go. You just buy your own deal.
The deal I got right now, I would buy.
Like,
Yeah,
well, if you wanted to buy the deal you have right now, you'd need $20,000.
yeah, I would need some. I don't got 20,000.
You could do the Morby method.
What is that? I heard
So
about it.
Morby method is, I'll sum it up. So you're basically going into the deal not paying for anything. Like you're not paying the down payment, you're not paying the seller finance amount, obviously. So let's take this deal that's in the seller finance category, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a $10,000 down and it's a $235,000 purchase price, right?
Yeah.
So that means that when the seller wants to, I'm sorry, when the buyer wants to close, I'm taking out the assignment fee because we're just going to work under the assumption you're buying this deal. So the closing costs on this deal is going to be $10,000. That's the down payment, plus the closing cost for the deal, which is I don't call it $3,000. Okay, so $13,000. So what the person who's going to buy the property would do, because they're already getting the $225,000 seller finance, they just go to some mom and pop bank or a Bank of America, Wells Fargo, a non-mortgage bank, and say, hey, I need to borrow $13,000. I'm buying this property that's going to bring in X amount of dollars a year. The bank will run the numbers and say, okay, because it's only $13,000. Now you've got the $13,000. You go to the escrow company, you give them the $13,000. Now you got the property. You essentially bought the property without spending a dollar of your own money. That's the Morby method. That's how it works.
Would you recommend that or not?
Yeah, I would. You just have to have, now it doesn't have to be, 800 credit score, but you have to have a decent mid sixes in order to get a short-term under $50,000 loan from a bank or a credit union. So if your credit scores are in the mid to high sixes, yeah, absolutely, I recommend that, because now you're buying an asset that's bringing you in $13,000 a year, and you didn't pay a dollar for it. Like literally, you did not have to spend your own money for it. You just have to fill out paperwork. The seller's financing the $225,000. You borrowed the $13,000 for the down payment and closing costs from a bank.
Why don't more people do that?
Because a lot of people don't know about it, for the same reason why real estate agents keep telling you guys, I don't understand the software. Creative financing is very popular, but it's not as popular as just a traditional cash deal. Traditional cash deal has been since people have been buying houses. That's how they've been doing it. They just never knew that they could do it this way. And now we're trying to educate people on, no, this is another way of doing it. And even though it seems like everyone and their mom knows what creative financing is, that's because you're surrounding yourself with people who know what creative financing is. The majority of people have no idea. Like my father's a genius.
Yeah,
he has no idea what it is. I had to explain it to him like I'm explaining it to you.
Yeah, my mom, she been doing like banking and all that for so long, and that was a new term to her. And also when it comes to like credit score, I couldn't tell you. So I don't know. My mom says she's been building my credit ever since I was like 13 or 14.
How old are you?
I'm 18. I just turned 18
run your credit. Run your credit.
But don't you lose
you can do it. No. You lose points on your credit if you do a hard pull multiple times in a certain time frame, which is usually 2 weeks. If you do a hard pull one time, you're fine.
Yeah, because I would like to do all that. Like my main goal is to own houses, not to wholesale. So
if your mother's been building your credit since you were 13 or 14, then she probably knows what it is. Why don't you just ask her?
So I would be able to purchase this house, the Morby Method. I don't,
If
no,
your credit, I don't know that you still have to qualify for the loan. So,
yeah.
and I mean the 13,000 from the bank. So I don't know if you have a job, that's going to be taken in consideration because you're only 18. It would just be that though, job and your credit. So if your credit was fantastic, even if you worked at McDonald's, but you had established history there, yeah, you could probably buy this house. The interest rate wouldn't be awesome, but if you're bringing in $12,000 a year, do you care? No, because it's on $25,000 or $13,000.
Yeah, I
Even if
thought
you're
you.
paying, even if your interest rate is 30%, your payment would be what, $110. Who cares?
So yeah, because I thought if they see that rent is bringing in more than
Yes,
like the monthly
that's
payment, then
that's true. You can use the rent that the property is currently getting as if it was your current income when you're going to buy one of these. That's right. Good for you.
realistically, how much do you think I'm going to be able to get a 10,000 assignment fee from this, or more? Because it is a 20% cash on cash, but it is a kind of a high entry fee,
It is
including.
yeah, the entry fee is a little high. Well, that's including the
Yeah, that's including
commission.
Yeah, no. That's just the assignment fee.
Are you looking at the calculator right now, your calculator, or are you just looking at mine?
Oh no, I was talking about the one on Japonica. I was talking about the one I got.
I don't know. I don't know. My meeting with the team is a little later on, and I'll follow up and see if they liked it or not. But I do not know.
I would hope so. Because what can you run the numbers at and ask me? I already know it.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
feel
say,
like
dude, you know the numbers.
yeah, I feel like because a 20% cash on cash return, like correct me if I'm wrong.
That's a good cash
That's
on cash.
amazing.
Yeah, that's very good. And there are other things that can affect that though, like the area. There's one person in the community, I can't remember who it is, and I don't remember the website that they use, but they run a crime statistic on all of their properties. And if it's a C plus or D plus property neighborhood for crime, they don't even offer on it because they're like me. A lot of investors don't want to buy properties in ghetto areas because the properties get damaged, the turnover is high. They don't want the headache.
I thought it was like Section 8 was less of a headache than regular because rent is guaranteed.
The rent is guaranteed, yes, but it's no guarantee that if you got a shootout down the street, your property ain't gonna get lit up with bullets, and now you got to pay money to fix that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing saying that there's not going to be a police raid. Maybe it's at the wrong house, and now you got to pay for a new front door. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, yeah, I
they don't
haven't thought
want
about
to.
it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. When did you buy your first property?
Um,
Did you use the Morby method or
no, I just learned creative financing like 2 years ago. So I bought my first property like 5, 6 years ago. 6 years ago? What is it? 2025? 6 years ago.
yes, make yourself sound old? How do you not know?
I am old. I'm 56 years old.
I say you're about like I say 30, maybe 27. I wouldn't say 56. That's
Oh, because this isn't my real voice. This is my customer service voice.
oh yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, I do this voice just because of what my real voice actually sounds like. It's a little intimidating-ish. Yeah, right. You wish.
But
Yeah,
Sean is like 27. There's no way he's like 30 or like I understand you code switch because my mom does it all the time. But
yeah.
like
I
you
have
can't
to.
code switch that. Like, come on, there's no way.
If you raise the pitch of your voice, you would sound like you haven't hit puberty too. That's all you have to do.
I do that when I'm on the phone sometimes.
You mean like kind of how I'm doing right now?
Yeah. You know what? Hey, Sean, I appreciate the because I heard about the Morby method, but I didn't know that to, that extent. I appreciate you letting me know.
Yeah, go to the deep dive channel in Discord and
Mhm.
scroll until you find DSCR loans and listen to that one, and that's kind of how it works.
That's what it was called. That's what I meant by if
Yeah.
rent is higher than the monthly payment, then you should be able to qualify or something like that. I heard
Yeah.
somebody on TikTok say it.
Yeah, listen to that one. That's a nice little overview. It gets a little more in depth than what I did, but still keeps it to where you understand what's everything.
Okay. Well, hey, thank you, Sean.
No problem. Who else got a question? Christian, Court, Leo. No? All right, cool. Then I will stop this training here. Thank you guys very much for joining. I will be in the Discord, obviously, for the next few hours. If you guys need anything, just hit me up, and I will talk to y'all later.